I am happy to name this ship the Queen Mary.
And now the 40,000-ton hull of the Royal Mail steamer Queen Mary glides down the slipway, cheered all the way by 250,000 people. As the 2,500 tons of drag chains take up the strain. Surely a tribute to British engineering is the fact that without the slightest hitch the launch is accomplished.
A new ship, the pride of France, sails on her maiden voyage. The Normandie, giant luxury liner of all the seas, carrying 3,000 souls, is a veritable floating city. She leaves Le Havre for New York, majestic and graceful. The world has waited for this moment. And the question asked again and again is, will this 80,000-ton streamline giant wrest the blue ribbon of the Atlantic from the German liner Bremen? Perhaps she may, but then we in Britain are waiting with eager longing for our own champion, the Queen Mary.
Steamer Queen Mary glides down the slipway, cheered all the way by 250,000 people.
The British liner Queen Mary, 81,237 tons, 1,020 feet long. In 1936, she was ready for her maiden voyage, offering to Atlantic passengers the utmost in luxury, comfort, service, and dependability. From dry docking at Southampton, the Queen had moved to endurance and full-speed trials.
The Queen Mary nearing New York on her maiden voyage. And those of you who have ever enjoyed American hospitality can imagine the welcome in store for her, the debutante of the seas. Americans, for all their critical attitude, have a very genuine affection for the old country. And I believe they are delighted to see Britain challenging again for her old supremacy in the passenger traffic of the Atlantic. What a marvelous spectacle is the mass of New York City, clustered at the south tip of Manhattan Island. New York is lucky in being a seaport at the terminus of the world's greatest ocean route. Thus, the greatest ships in the world pass right up her river under the shadow of the skyscrapers. Then commences the task of maneuvering the great vessel alongside, and the mammoth has to be guided by pygmy tugs. So ends the maiden trip. She did not break the Normandie's record as fog delayed her. For some time she will not allow her engines to develop full power, but when that time comes, Normandy, look to your laurels. After 5 days in New York, we hear that the Queen Mary has put to sea again, and that her bows are headed homeward.
We fly out with Jack Carter to meet her, and as we circle around, another member of the fleet passes, the Berengaria, outward bound. This is one of those unique pictures which is memorable in newsreel annals.